We're back again on Lutherans Alive with Karen Mowry of Trinity Lutheran Church in Latrobe, talking about natural church development. Karen, it's been a bit of a short road so far, first year,
Yes.
first time through, but it sounds like it's been a very positive and an encouraging experience. Is that right?
That's right. It's been a lot because of the support of the pastor and the congregation and the good committee we have that's working on this, the Long Range Planning Committee, yes.
About how large of a committee is involved at this point?
We actually have 12 members. It's a rotating schedule, like 3-year, 2-year, 1-year terms, so we have new people all the time. We try to have a variety. We have youth and older members, and we have a brand new member that just joined the church on our committee now, so we try to keep new faces on the committee to keep new ideas coming. So.
You brought a couple of things with you that we want to make sure we give some attention to.
Okay.
I was particularly intrigued with the bucket that became kind of the object lesson for the program. Describe for folks how that fits.
Yeah, natural church development, you have a minimal factor. Out of the 8 healthy characteristics, once you do the survey, it determines a minimal factor. And this bucket represents the minimal factor and demonstrates that you can have a healthy church, but you always have a minimal factor, and that's all the higher the water is going to go in your church. So you need to improve that minimal factor.
Yeah. That's a pretty clear message there. You've got eight sides, and each side represents one of those factors.
Right.
But obviously, if you fill it with water, it's not going to hold any higher than your shortest side.
And that's what you need to try to improve, yes.
Yeah, that's an ingenious little teaching tool
yes.
there. And you brought with you a copy of the book as well. You mentioned Christian Schwartz.
Yes.
Is the author. Natural Church Development is the name.
And he has a lot of years in this, in the research. And then finally developed the survey that incorporates all the over 1,000 churches in the whole United States to make the survey. And there's a lot to use in that. We've tried to keep it simple at Trinity, not get too involved our first year, keep things so we can manage them. And it seemed to have worked. Myra, our coach, suggested that they do that at her church.
Yes, we could mention that there are 2 other congregations along with Trinity that are working with the Natural Church Development Program. Bethlehem Glenshaw and House of Prayer Aliquippa.
Yes.
So if someone's interested in more information about one of these, those would be the churches that have firsthand experience.
Right.
And the Myra to whom you refer is Myra Fazard.
Right. She's our coach, and she's been great with us.
And yes, she is a member of House of Prayer, so she's right in the middle of that.
Yes, she's doing
natural church development as well. Wanted to get back just at least for a couple minutes, Karen, to the worship area, since that was one that ended up being one that you, as a congregation, focused on. What sorts of changes or improvements or attention would you say that area has received at Trinity that is making a difference?
Well, we're still working it out with the committees and getting it out into the church, but as far as inspiring worship service goes, we've, like I mentioned, have a pastoral change, and we've had many of our church members step up to help a lot with the process, and it has kind of changed our whole service just because of all the different people being involved and jumping up to cover the all bases on what needs to be done in our church. So the music seems to be making everybody happier, and hopefully get more people involved in the choirs and all the different aspects that people do to help with the service. So.
It really makes a difference when you see the people that are sitting in the pew with you also getting up and being involved in leadership roles, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's good to see new people doing things, and that's what we're kind of after, getting new faces to do the jobs that maybe the same people have done for years, get new people involved.
Now that you've gotten involved, Karen, to this level and to this extent in your congregation, would you say it's changed a bit, maybe the way that you see Trinity Church or understand all that's going on there? Yes,
well, I was actually on the original Long Range Planning Committee some years ago, and this is so much better because it's focused on the one aspect of the inspiring worship life. Before, we tried to just do too many things and it fell apart. So this, I can see this is going to produce, like the IT committee's getting excited about improving our communication through our website, and evangelism's getting excited about reaching out. And I mean, everybody's kind of jumping on board with this at this point, and we hope to keep that enthusiasm going through the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the positive attitude and a little bit of momentum in a congregation, but also getting people involved with each other,
yes,
are all key to the strong foundation.
That's the kind of the basis of this, is you have the people in your church to do it. You need to find the right people to do the right jobs, rather than one or two people pulling all the weight. Mm-hmm. You need to, those people need to get more people involved on small bases, and that's what we're working on. Maybe just ask someone to help with a small event or a small project, and not maybe just say, can you join a committee, but mm-hmm. just to get people involved to see, how they can be helpful in the church.
Can't help but wonder, with this kind of an initiative in a congregation, does it also help in terms of addressing the different generations in a congregation? The older members, the longtime members, the younger generation as well. Sometimes I think it's a challenge for congregations to find a way to keep all those folks connected.
Right, it is. And it is in our congregation, because we have a very, very, we have a lot of elderly people in our church, but we have a lot of new younger people. And we're looking at doing a coming out party with this to an event, and might be tied with our 145th anniversary, coming up to invite the whole congregation and have all the committees there and have an ethnic party, and just make a big celebration to, once it gets onto the committees where it's at now and they've decided their goals and stuff, to get the whole congregation involved. And part of that was a intergenerational event to try to get the older people working with the younger ones too at that event. So.
Well, it certainly sounds like a real positive initiative in a congregation to help people think about the things that are worth supporting and celebrating and moving forward with. I think sometimes in congregations we can get a little negative, I guess I would say, in terms of...
Or just stay stagnant and don't want to, change. Change is good. It's not always easy, but it's good. And like I say, God provides us with the people. We just need to use those people in His way to...
I guess, speaking about God providing, that's another piece that natural church development, but other programs as well, seek to focus on the assets and the resources and the people that are already in a congregation. Sometimes we tend to think we can't do something because we don't have the right people or we don't have enough resources, but that is an emphasis of the program, isn't it? That
it is. Yeah.
If we look within, we do have the resources that are necessary.
They're there. If you can, and this process is helping us to find those people to fill the process.
Mm-hmm. And I can't help but think that the folks that have been initially a part of the long-range planning committee undertaking this kind of become a tight-knit group and have a closer bond undertaking that initiative.
We've had some very good discussions, and like I say, the older members, they put their perspective in, and the newer, younger members do, and we get into some really good discussions about how this should go. It is an amazing committee. I mean, we just have so many good ideas. It's almost overwhelming sometimes to do them all, to get them all into. But if we can get our committees on board now and let them, set their goals and continue out from there, then we'll be happy.
Yeah. And I guess we want to just remind people as well that to take on a natural church development process is exactly that. It's a process.
It is.
This isn't a one-time thing that will be done at the end of the year, but hopefully will be something that will continue to focus on that growth and development in a congregation that will keep you a healthy and thriving church.
Yes. In June, we'll hopefully do our second survey and do the same process again next year.
Well, Karen, we really do thank you very much for taking the time to come in and helping us to understand natural church development. Sounds to me like the kind of thing a lot of folks could be interested in and could use in their congregation.
It is, and once you learn the process, and like I say, you can make it work in your church however you want to, big or small or whatever. But it seems to be working for us.
Well, hopefully we've whet some people's appetites, and they'll be following you down that road as well. Thanks so much for being here today. Thank you for being with us today on Lutherans Alive. We hope you've enjoyed this opportunity to hear about one way that congregations can use to revitalize their life and ministry together and in their congregations and communities. Until next time, this is Lutherans Alive. Good day, and God bless you.